I think that linguistics is a bigger part of physics than we have traditionally been made to understand. I think that linguistics and the stories that we tell, the stories that we internalize, are part of the evolutionary process in a way that needs to be more properly examined. When talking about some of the bigger things going on in the world, sometimes people reply and go, they hit you with like a serenity prayer type of joint. You ever get that? They're like, listen, man, remember you got to have wisdom to know the difference between what you can change and what you need to accept, right? The serenity prayer, I want to accept the things I cannot change. But again, acceptance and creation are two sides of the same coin. You created what you accept. We share this planet with so many other sentient beings, and so the things that they create, we interact all of the time. And you speak up sometimes. You don't let certain things stand sometimes. Other things you accept, you know? It's all about the definition of self and the definition of the external world. We can't control US policy towards Israel in the same way we can't control women's sexual desire. But people won't stop trying to control women's sexual desire. They won't stop that. Everything from just penalizing women and slut shaming. There's so many things you can't control, but people will happily walk into these domains of things that are outside of their control to register a complaint, to give language to a problem that they're seeing. Somehow there's an empowering story that they have that this is okay. And this is an important way to use their voice, and a valuable and even like effective, perhaps, like way to use their voice. But it's all stories. It's all stories. And I'm trying to also point to the fact that like everything is really one thing. You actually do have control by saying, I'm this. You know, if somebody walked up to you and called you by a name that wasn't your name, you would assert the truth of what your name is. And you would do so confidently because it's your name, because you know it, because you know who you are. At least in contrast to the other name, right? Because you don't accept a label or an assumption or language. You don't buy into a narrative that you know isn't true. And you're confident enough and you know who you are. But everything is like that. And if you don't speak up in those instances, people might continue to call you by the wrong name. So we have control. Applause for that. Language, narratives, the stories we tell each other, the stories I internalize. There's certain things can't be changed in a sense. Like, what are we talking about in terms of change? We are connected through the words that we use, through the labels we use to describe something. So that is the engagement with reality. It is the lever. If I'm in a room full of dudes and they refer to someone I respect as a bitch, and that's just normal. It is normalized as such. I may not be able to change the mindset of everyone in that room, but that conversation about this person I respect, I'm going to introduce a different set of labels. When I speak, if I'm not going to like correct anybody, but hey, don't talk. But at the very least, when it's my turn to communicate, I'm going to communicate with language that I'm familiar with and I find appropriate and I find accurate. And that's control. That changes the room. The room has to contend with my accurate language. And it's not even changing anything. It's my engagement. Nothing changes. It's my engagement. It's my story. It's my truth. And it's manifesting like the actual action, because it's one thing to say you believe something. You can just say that you believe something. Everyone says that they believe this and that. But to do it, to be it, I think that's what faith is. This is where science and linguistics and faith and religion all kind of merge to me. It's like a lot of different faith traditions have a ritual of mantra, of saying certain, if you say things frequently, you can start to believe them. And if you start to believe them, you start to actually walk in them. And in the isness of who you are is further attached to that belief, and it comes out in the choice and in the words you speak and in the things you see and things you don't see.